Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform. We do a regular health series with, I believe, the top nutritional expert in the world, Dr. Peter Glidden. Dr. Glidden takes a lot of heat for, if you will, speaking about topics that big pharma, big insurance, big medicine don't want you to know about. But he still does it because it truly will have, I believe, a positive impact on your life. I know it's had a positive impact upon my life. Now, a little background on Peter. He attended Williams College, then obtained his Bachelor of Science degree in pre-medical studies at the University of Massachusetts. He obtained his doctoral degree in naturopathic medicine at Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington. He's a member of the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians, and he's currently in private practice in naturopathic medicine. He's been licensed to practice naturopathic medicine since 1992. In addition to Peter's outstanding clinical skills, Peter is an outstanding author. And there are two books that are the foundation of the Janda Family Medical Library. And I suggest you look into them as well. They're both authored by Peter. Everybody is Sick, and I Know Why, and Attempt a Cure with Holistic Medicine that I believe are both available through Amazon. Peter, it's an honor to have you back. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform.
Always a pleasure to be here with you, Dave. You know, there aren't that many people who are standing up and being recognized here. We've been under the jackbooted heel of a medical monopoly for 107 years. But hopefully the truth will out, and I appreciate your willingness to have me here very much.
Well, today, Peter, we have an entire series, and folks can look at our platform here at Operation Freedom, or they can go to operationfreedomhealth.com, which is the website associated with what we do here, and we have videos there as well. Peter, I want to focus on a particular element, chemical element. It's a master mineral, if you will, called selenium. Now, Peter, I obtained my bachelor's degree. I was a double major, chemistry and economics, and my focus in chemistry was analytical chemistry. You're not going to find this hard to believe, but I learned more about selenium in college as an undergraduate doing analytical chemistry, that it's atomic number 34, it's a nonmetal, it's a chemical element, than I did in medical school when it was never brought up. And this is the dichotomy we have. You know, we were inundated in medical school, in every medical school, not just me, but I look at my daughter who went through medical school 30 years after I did. We're inundated with the pharmaceutical products, the drugs, big pharma products. But when it comes to nutritional health and nutrition, it's not touched upon. So let's focus, Peter, because I learned everything I know about selenium from you, which I never had that education in medical school. So let's talk about selenium and why it's been called the master mineral.
Well, most of this information, this is probably after calcium, right, which the body needs for just about everything. Mm-hmm. If calcium's the number one mineral essential nutrient, hands down, selenium is number two. And most of the clinical information that's been brought to the scientific community about selenium was brought there by a scientist named Gerhard Schrauzer, who passed away recently. He was on the teaching faculty at UC San Diego forever. He was considered the go-to expert in medical community regarding selenium. And so like 100%, I'm going to say, of the information that I'm sharing with you today and the listening audience comes from Dr. Schrauzer's work, and also parenthetically from Dr. Wallach's work, right? Mm-hmm. So selenium is an essential mineral. The only way that it gets into the human body is if it's in the food that we eat, or if you take a supplement with selenium, which is the preferred form, because thinking that selenium is going to be in your food is a crapshoot, because the only way that selenium gets in the food is if it's in the soil that the food is growing in, number one, and number two, if that soil hasn't been affected by herbicides or pesticides which prohibit selenium and other minerals from getting up into the plant. So it's very easy for people to become deficient in trace minerals, especially selenium. So this is why we need to supplement with selenium, and it does so many things in the body. I'm not really sure where you want me to start.
Well, one of the things that you taught me early on, one of the really focuses, one of the important aspects of selenium is that it's incredible antioxidant properties, right? Which both, and people say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, antioxidants protect cells from damage.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Let's talk about the heart in this instance, right? Well, let's talk about first of all, the fire department of the body, right? Everybody's aware of the police department of the body, which is the immune system, but nobody really thinks about the fire department of the body, the processes that the body has to put out the fires of inflammation. The captain of the fire department in the human body is a molecule that the body makes called glutathione. And in order for glutathione to be recycled efficiently, you need to have selenium present. If selenium is not present, glutathione gets used and destroyed, and the body has to make more of it. But if selenium is present, the glutathione gets used, it neutralizes a free radical, and then it gets recycled. Then it can do it again, and it can do it again, and it can do it again. There's a group of viruses called Coxsackie viruses.
Yes.
And, you know this. They tend to gravitate towards the heart, and they're benign. They don't really do anything. However, when the body's fire department is weak, the free radical damage, which happens, in inflammatory damage, which kind of gets out of control in the body, can mutate the Coxsackie virus and cause the Coxsackie virus to start eating up the heart. And why does this happen? Because the Coxsackie virus is there? Well, yes, but the Coxsackie virus is going to be there anyway. It's because the inflammatory processes in the body became out of control. And why was this? Because not enough selenium. Now, interestingly enough, in pre-World War II Germany, the German scientific community discovered that there was a condition called athlete's heart, which is an enlarged heart, and the technical term for that is cardiomyopathy. And they also discovered that enlarged heart was caused by deficiencies in selenium. It wasn't because of a bad gene, or it wasn't because these people were exercising hard. It was because they didn't have enough selenium in their bodies. And one of the side effects of not enough selenium on the heart is that, number one, you get an enlarged heart. And then number two, the Coxsackie viruses, which invariably are present, are going to become mutated, become activated, and start to destroy the heart. Not good, right?
Right.
So selenium, extremely important generally overall for activation of the fire department in the human body, and really super important for heart health.
And selenium has also, tell me if I'm wrong on this, let me know, Peter, has been found to have diminished levels in folks with certain disease states, such as HIV, Crohn's disease.
Right. Also, there's a weird disease that nobody really knows about in the West. It happens in China a lot. It was called Cushing-Beck syndrome. And Cushing-Beck syndrome, if you have Cushing-Beck syndrome, your bones stop growing, and you basically are a dwarf in stature. And it's because of not enough selenium. Not enough selenium prohibits the proper growth of bones in the human body. That's interesting. Dr. Wallach discovered that deficiencies in selenium they were the primary operative cause of cystic fibrosis. And he proved this in rhesus monkeys at the Yerkes Primate Research Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. Wallach could turn cystic fibrosis on or off in rhesus monkey babies by giving the mothers selenium in their diet, and then the babies were not born with cystic fibrosis, or withholding selenium from the diet of the mother monkey. And if the mother monkey was deficient in selenium, the babies were born with cystic fibrosis. It was a breakthrough. Remarkable. And this happened in the mid-'80s, right? And for this remarkable gift to humanity and to the advancement of modern American medicine, Yerkes Primate Research Center fired Dr. Wallach because back in those days, the notion that a nutritive element like selenium could have any effect whatsoever on a presumably genetic disease was heresy, right? With medical heresy. And so they rejected his ideas, they fired him, and hundreds of thousands of people have been born with cystic fibrosis, suffered through a horrible disease needlessly because of pig-headed, science, for lack of a better word. But the beat goes on here, Dave, right? So eye health research clearly shows that animals that have the most acute vision, like bald eagles, have the highest concentration of selenium than other animals. Selenium, extremely important for eye health. We haven't exactly figured out the mechanism, but one of my go-to treatments for anybody with any type of an eye condition whatsoever, and I don't care what it is therapeutic doses of selenium. Thyroid. In order for the body to turn thyroid hormone number 4 into thyroid hormone number 3, which is the body's active and preferred form of thyroid hormone, guess what? You need selenium. So the beat just keeps going on and on here. Every time you turn around, there seems to be another metabolic process which demands selenium. Cartilage formation. To keep the cartilage in the body elastic, it needs something called chondroitin sulfate.
It does.
The body needs selenium to make chondroitin sulfate. If you don't have it, you can't make it. So you're going to get stiff and you're going to get rickety and all kinds of problems. Not because you have a bad gene, not because you're getting older, not because you have a voodoo curse, because you don't have enough darn selenium, for goodness sakes. And it's a problem. Everybody needs, and it's a crap. Oh, Dr. Glidden, I can get all the selenium I need from eating Brazil nuts. Well, it's true that the Brazil nut tree concentrates selenium more than any other plant that we know of, but the selenium has to be in the soil. Mm-hmm. Brazil nut tree can't make selenium. If it's not in the soil, it can't concentrate it. So thinking that you're going to be able to get adequate amounts of selenium from food is a fool's errand, and you need to supplement. Well, that's where we come in on the cost issue, Pete, because a number of people say, okay, I need to know what foods hold this, in this case, selenium mineral. And, you said Brazil nuts, I believe walnuts, saltwater fish, tuna, cod, beef and poultry. But where we are in this day and age with herbicides, pesticides, and everything else, folks could eat a bushel basket of Brazil nuts. And that doesn't mean that they're going to get enough selenium that they need. Absolutely. And this research was done years ago. I mean, there was a really interesting study that was done where they took people in the United States and people in Japan. People in Japan and people in Australia. And they measured their blood for circulating amounts of selenium. I mean, how much selenium is present in the blood? The people in Japan, by chance and by luck, had about 80% of the selenium needs in their body. The people in Australia, 18%. So what was the difference? Well, where the food is grown, right? I mean, it's luck of the draw.
Yes.
The Japanese soil has a lot of selenium in it. The Australian soil hardly has any, and it's like that county by county, by the way, here in the United States. So supplementation is mandatory here. It's not optional. If you think you can get this stuff from food, you're wrong. You're not going to be able to. It's a crapshoot. You need to supplement in order to meet your body's therapeutic needs.
So, Pete, let's outline an action plan. Now, on OperationFreedomHealth.com, we have videos, we have written material, we have products available. And full disclosure, the products on that site, on OperationFreedomHealth.com, do support the Operation Freedom platform. The baseline, let's talk about an action plan. You've spoken before about the Healthy Body Start Pack. Does that help in relation to this selenium issue, or where does that fit into this whole picture?
Yeah,
because let's go through the steps that people need to do when it comes to their basic foundation and then as it relates to selenium.
All right, excellent. So, and this is a point that I think is important to keep reiterating. because in this culture, everybody's been exposed to something called fractionated nutrition, which is, large doses of vitamin C, large doses of vitamin D, large doses of whatever, right? And we don't do that. Instead of giving massive amounts of one or two things, we give therapeutic amounts of everything. And there are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs to function properly. So Longevity, in its wisdom, through the direction and guidance of Dr. Wallach, $25 million of research, not bad, developed something called a Healthy Body Start Pack. And one Healthy Body Start Pack gives you all 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs to function the way that God and nature intended it. And that includes the therapeutic dose of selenium. By the way, the therapeutic amount of selenium is between 200 and 300 micrograms a day. 200 to 300 micrograms a day. And it's best if it's in the form of selenomethionine or a selenium amino acid chelate. Well, these are the details that companies like Longevity have already taken care of. So one Healthy Body Start Pack will give you the requisite amount of nutrients, which includes selenium. Now, it's not cheap. Healthy Body Start Pack hovers somewhere around $150, I think, something like that. The minerals, all by themselves, the plant-derived minerals, right, which is a separate and distinct product that Longevity makes, it's like $22, $23 for one bottle. The plant-derived colloidal minerals represent 66%. That's 2/3 of your body's nutrient needs, and that includes selenium. Now, the selenium in the plant-derived minerals is not enough to give you a therapeutic boost. So if money's an issue, you can't afford the Healthy Body Start Pack plus a bottle of plant minerals plus a bottle of selenium, which is the best way to do it. Just get a bottle of the plant minerals and a bottle of selenium. Take that for 30 days and see how you feel. There's a lot of ways to skin this cat, right? And so we just need to be smart about it. In a perfect world, one Healthy Body Start Pack, one bottle of plant minerals, and one bottle of selenium per month is a really, really, really strong foundation for overall health. And, it's going to have positive ramifications for your thyroid, for your eyes, for your heart, for your fire department in your body. It's really, really a great plan.
Pete, I'd like to thank you. The information you provided on is yet again 1,000% more than I ever received during my medical training. And that isn't an exaggeration.
Yeah. This is the problem that we're up against here, Dave. And it's like absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? Benjamin Rush, years ago, 200 years ago, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, the only physician.
Unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize itself into a dictatorship. And that's exactly what's happened. And the information that my profession brings to the table here, it's academic, it's science-based, it's clinically verified. It's just not in the mainstream. Why isn't it in the mainstream? Because of the monopoly.
Yes.
And it sounds like, a conspiracy theory catchphrase, but I'm afraid it absolutely, positively is true.
Well, it's conspiracy fact.
The pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know what we know. It's a conspiracy fact.
Peter, I'd like to thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. A couple things, folks. We have videos. We have information. We have Peter's video on the 12 bad foods you should avoid. Go to OperationFreedomHealth.com. It's right at the top. It's free. You don't have to. We also have other videos that we've done. We have other videos on this platform, Operation Freedom Health. Peter gives us his time every other week to produce these pieces of information, these segments. We also have the products on OperationFreedomHealth.com. And I encourage you, and I believe it's available on bookstores online and also Amazon, Peter's 2 books, which are fantastic. Everybody is sick, and I know why, and Attempt a Cure with Holistic Medicine, both by Peter Glidden. Peter, again, thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will do.
Thanks, Dave. It's my pleasure. Keep up the good work.
And same to you, Peter. And folks, until next time, thank you for your time. Dream big and dare to fail.